Hello, and welcome to Dan's Corner. I don't know why I even call it that anymore. It's not a show. It's not a time where we can get together and hold hands and sing Kumbaya and just make love and peace and happiness spring forth on a regular basis. Instead, you have sporadic videos made by me, sometimes having a point, sometimes doesn't have a point. It really doesn't matter, but today's date is January 4th of 2015, and I thought I would do a recap on 2014. Now, my wife tells me that I should probably prepare for these and have something written out, have a schedule, and have a certain topics, and stick on the topic when I'm talking about the topic instead of jumping to other topics while the topic I'm talking about isn't being topically talked about to topic to understand. So, with that being said, I have written down a few things here. I have a little list. You can see that writing. There we go. But that wasn't near enough to fill up 8 minutes. Let's take that light out. Ooh. Alright, so once again, off topics. You do hear crickets in the background. We recently bought crickets for the geckos. I have the bathroom light on. I have the light on behind me. As you can see, I got the gecko cages on that side of me, and since I'm looking into the camera, it's actually backwards from the way I think I'm pointing. And my head's heading a closet door. Yeah, that's probably not too good. Anyway, so looking into the camera, I've learned a few things this last year. Some of the things I already knew, but it was reinforced. Some of the things are brand new. Some of the things were actually kind of like, duh, how obvious is that? But I never really thought of it. So I'm going to go off of this list, and I'm also going to do some things that were actually on my head, off the top of my head. Saying just sounds weird when I say it out loud. In my head, it sounds so much better, like many things that I say or do. So I have this titled, Things I've Learned This Year. Well, these are in no particular order, just to let you know, so none of them are more important than the others. And if I offend somebody, I offend somebody. If I don't offend somebody, that's good. If I make someone laugh, that makes me happy. So, with this list and some of the things, I will have to say, see, and this is where my attention span just disappears, because it's gone. I've already gotten 2 minutes into it, and I've said absolutely just about nothing. Anyhow, moving on. Things I've learned this year. Well, my handwriting sucks. I already knew that, but, it just kind of reinforces it, trying to read it now. But then again, I do need glasses. I went and got my eyes checked for the first time in a long time, and they said, Daniel, you need glasses because you're not able to see as well as you used to. I'm 36 years old. I was kind of reminded at church that I was getting closer to 40, and I argued that for just about 30 seconds in my head and went, you're right. I am getting close to 40. Unimaginable. I remember when my mom turned 35. In fact, there's a rock in this house right now, somewhere, sitting, put up, put away, put into something that says, I don't know what it says, but it was a rock my dad gave to my mom, my adopted parents. Said 35 isn't old as you're a tree, I do believe. That was when we were living back in Enumclaw. And I do want to clarify just a little bit, just because they're my adopted parents does not mean they are not my parents. After all, they did raise me, feed me, teach me, learn me, beat me, yell at me, ground me to my room, made me clean my bed, and all the good stuff that parents do to raise children properly. I have many fond memories, many not so fond memories. I learned the power of forgiveness this year. Looking back on it, there are many things that I was not forgiving people of, and things that I didn't even understand or realize that I was being offended by. I forgave, and I'll tell you what, talk about a weight lifted off my shoulders, things I don't even care about anymore. Well, I still care about them because it happens in this world, and it did happen to me, but while I forgave, I do not hold that grudge against the person anymore. I realized this year that I love my wife. That sounds really funny. We've been married 3 years, and some people will be like, you're weird. You already knew you loved your wife. You said yes. Well, just because somebody says yes, I love you, I marry you, I have babies with you, I do things with you, I don't do things with you. It doesn't mean that they love you, or you love them. It just means that you're doing something with somebody, and in some cases you probably shouldn't. But I did learn this year, I do love my wife. I did learn that I have no clue as to what that noise in the background, that squeak, 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 squeak noise is. I've tried it with the fan off, I've tried it with the fan on, I've tried it with the lights off and lights on. It doesn't really matter, because when the lights are off you can't see me. So, next topic, patience is hard. Patience is very hard. I knew patience was hard because I hate being patient. I hate waiting. I like to do things. Okay, here you go, there you go. This is somebody else's problem. Get it done. I'm here. Let's get it done. Doesn't always work that way, and when it's asked of me, I get angry. I've learned that my wife loves me. Same topic as when I said I love my wife, but there's a deeper understanding of things, and once you start understanding somebody that you've been with or haven't been with, but once you understand that person, you understand them and you understand their emotions, you understand what they're going through, and you're able to be sympathetic to it, and you're able to understand that even if they're angry, even if they're mad, even if they're saying things, even if they're screaming or yelling, which my wife doesn't really scream or yell, I don't know why, because it's a lot of fun. I used to do it all the time, and in fact I think I did it recently here shortly ago. But screaming and yelling, giving you dirty looks, not wanting to be around you, not wanting to talk to you, giving you the silent treatment, giving you the I'm going to talk to you more about what you did wrong treatment. A lot of that, believe it or not, is love. They care for you. And that goes to my next one. Not all arguments are arguments. There are many, many times that I've actually argued with someone that at the end of it we went, we're talking about the same exact thing, same point, same way of solution, same solutions, same way of getting this taken care of. So, not all arguments are arguments, but they can be constructive, and sometimes it is just a discussion that one person thinks is an argument, it is not. Government is one-sided. What I mean by that is it's not Democrat, it's not Republican, it's progressive, meaning that the government wants to rule your life. And once the government takes a little bit of power, they go and seize as much power as they can from you as quickly as they can, because they know that if you catch on and anytime soon and they don't have control over this aspect of your life where you can actually do something, then you will seize it and you are a threat to them because you may take their power. I can't read my writing right now. It says sealing records are expensive. Oh yeah, sealing records are expensive. I did look into getting my felony record removed from my record. There's a couple ways to do it. You can seal it, you can expunge it. It doesn't matter. I do not have the money for either of them, and when I did try to talk to a lawyer, due to my work schedule and other things that were unforeseen, I wasn't able to get that resolved. But I do really need to get that resolved, because it's cut me out of many different things, many different opportunities, and much enjoyment now that Washington has a law saying that if you don't own the firearm but you touch it, you're a felon. Too late. Let's see here. I also learned, thanks to my wife and a TV that broke, that just because I say I'm fixing something doesn't mean that I'm fixing it. Sometimes it's making it worse, sometimes it makes it work, let's just say, differently than before, not exactly the way it was designed to work, or the way it was planned to work, or the way the repair was supposed to be planned to be repaired and done. Couple of good things this year that happened. I am part of a large family. I realize that. I have 8 brothers. That's a lie. I have 7 brothers and 1 sister. Unfortunately, no, that's a lie too. I have 6 brothers and 2 sisters. Unfortunately, one of my sisters is no longer with us, and one of my brothers is no longer with us, and the 5th brother, my next oldest brother, is nowhere to be found. No trace. The name is like non-existent. Well, I'm sure if I had some money, but it's not working out that way. Facebook is like crack. I used to be a meth head. I used to do meth all the time. I did it for like 2 years straight. Granted, that's not a whole long time to be doing meth, but I can tell you that in those 2 years, I didn't exactly go out robbing places so I can steal stuff to get my next fix, but I did do some down and dirty manipulation and other type things to be able to secure my fix. Being sober is great. I learned that this year as well. You know, it's been 2 years since I've had any alcohol. Granted, I've had a sip or two here or there. And when I say here or to there, I mean in the time that I quit, I've had maybe one, maybe two, that I'm aware of. I should say that because sometimes people like spiking drinks that... Anyway. That's not a cop-out like I told my PO officer that people spike the tea with marijuana. That's a totally different subject. Let's see here. Technology ruins lives. Technology is actually taking us further and further away from being closer and closer together. I looked over at the dinner table one time when I was sitting at Denny's. I was actually over there with a couple of friends, and me and him were going... Get this in the camera here. With our phone, and I looked at the table next to me and went, they're doing the same thing. Guess what? They're texting each other. And it's not always texting, it's messaging on Facebook, it's Snapchatting, it's Vining, and whatever the mode of transportation, of communication between people happens to be these days. I've learned that young people really have no clue about history whatsoever, and they really need to learn. I've learned that schools need to start teaching kids about right and wrong. I've learned schools need to stop brainwashing kids. And when I say brainwashing, I don't mean like at my church where we believe that God is God and God is God. I mean talking about changing things, little subtle words here, subtle hints there, changing of the Bill of Rights, changing of other things, changing of the way kids are supposed to think, because math used to be 2 plus 2 is 4. Now it means 2 plus 2 equals 4, but how did you get there? Well, there's an umbrella here, and there's a line here, and you got to take this from that, and that from this, and this to that, and 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 that equals 5. Oh, that's okay, little Timmy. 2 plus 2 can equal 5 in some worlds. I've learned that people riot over the dumbest things. Well, they're not dumb things, but the most inconvenient, the most untruthful truths. And what do I say about that? The media is not always right, unfortunately. People take the media as God. How can I say that? Well, people know that there is a God, and people know that God is supposed to be this ultimate thing. So when they say, I'm an atheist, but you could take that to the grave, and I swear to God, well, that's kind of weird. Kind of a contradiction in terms too, since atheists are not supposed to believe in any kind of higher power whatsoever, and that they control their own destiny. But then I have to ask them, what does that mean to be good? And not one of them has been able to give me an answer on that. Apparently I've filled up 13 minutes of time, and I still have quite a bit of list to go through. Let's see here. Durangos are gas hogs. Putting plans into actions are hard. Memory foam mattresses are awesome. We have one now. It's great. Unfortunately, it remembers where I sit. Therefore, there is a bigger bow in the bed. You cannot serve God and mammon, meaning you cannot serve this world, things of this world, money, things, articles, people, whatever, and serve God at the same time. It's either one or the other. I've tried many different times, and it never worked out. Let's see here. Yeah, I can't read my writing, so anyway, many people have no idea what it means to be conservative. They just think it means that you want things to go back to the old way where men can boss their women around and women have to stay home and do this and cook and clean and be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, when they really haven't got a clue as to what it actually means to be conservative. Let's see here. Everyone wants to be a good person, but nobody can define the definition of good. Technology ruins life. Facebook is crack. America is not in the Bible. In the end of days, it does not say anything about America. In fact, it says that all nations, every single one of them, will rise against Israel. In the end of days, well, this guy in charge speaking for Americans, which is absolutely... bleh. They're speaking for some Americans who the government takes care of. That's who they're speaking for. And even those people don't agree with them. Oh, many people don't know how to read. They don't know how to write. They don't know how to spell. I, for one, can tell you I am so glad for Microsoft Spell Check, because if there was no spell check, you wouldn't understand a word I'm saying, and I would look just like these people that are coming straight out of high school. And it's not even high school anymore. Even some of these people in college can't read or write, but yet they're getting passed on, and they have bachelor's degrees and master's degrees, and they're trying to get all this stuff. Immigration does not mean what most people think immigration is. Well, immigration means immigration. You move from one place to another place. Whether it's legal or not, well, that's where the battle seems to be. And unfortunately, the people who want everybody coming into this country and think we have taken this country over from the people that were here before, it's just mean and cruel, and they're only people that are just horrible, and America is just this horrible nation that does nothing but oppress people and take people's land and steal their money and do this and do that and hates black people and blah 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 blah. Those people should actually read their history and look a little bit into what they're trying to say. And when I say look into it, I'm not talking about listening and reading to George Zinn, or maybe that's not even his name, but Zinn is the last name. You know, even that fellow in a wheelchair that talks like a robot, I don't even know. That was horrible. Even listening to him, you want to talk to him like he's a god? Well, you just admitted there's a god there, and he doesn't believe there's a god. In fact, I don't even think he believes in intelligent design. It doesn't matter. There are many things that I used to know, conspiracy theories and all that good stuff, that I no longer consider to be important. Mainly because I know where I'm going, I know I'm traveling through, and one day everything will be straightened out. So until that day, guys, I wish you a very, very good 2015. I pray that it's a start of new beginnings for you guys, as it is. One of my sons, we are no longer speaking because of certain things that happened. And another one of my sons, boy, if you listen to this, well, I just hope you think that your old man isn't a total crackhead. So, good night, goodbye, and just, going on. But you know what? Whatever you do, consider thinking about Jesus. I know some people have had it shoved down their throat. Some people believe that all Christians are stupid hypocrites, like the Westboro Baptist Church. Those people, I'm sorry, they're crazy, they're nuts. See, I believe in a relationship with God and not a religion of God. Two different things. It's just like you and your wife, or you and your best friend, you and your husband. That's the way you should be with God, not I go to church every once in a while and don't care about the rest of the week. It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't mean you're not saved, but it does mean that you're setting a bad example. I'm not perfect by any means, and I probably set quite a few bad examples. But I'm trying, I'm diligent. And this year of 2014 has taken me 18 minutes to ramble on about many different things that have happened. So good luck, goodbye, and rest well.